Well, hey, everybody, what's going on? I'm so glad that you're joining us for this Zoom sales training. Look, I love what we do, and I'm so glad that you picked up the Wedding Sales Machine. You're going to be a rock star. I'm going to go over all the things that I do for our Zoom calls. Because as you know, one of the steps in the Wedding Sales Machine is that you'll set up a 15-minute Zoom or Google Meets, whatever. I say Zoom because that's my world. But whatever video platform conferencing that you're familiar with that you want to integrate is totally fine. I just wanted to go over a couple of tips to really just help you do a really good job when you're on your Zoom call with your client. And what I've got here for you, you're familiar with already. The Wedding Sales Machine delivers like this through what's called a one pager. And so you can see in the one pager, you've got the video there, and then there's a couple of things that you can use to fill out, take some notes, and save this into a one pager account. I will say, I love One Pager, and it's a resource that you do have to pay for. We're not an affiliate for it. I wish we were, because I would refer everybody there, to be honest with you. But in your One Pager, you should be able to save One Pagers to log into account for free. But if you ever wanted to create a One Pager, which I highly recommend, you'd actually have to pay for that service. I think they start at like $29 and $67 or something like that. So I just wanted you to know what platform I was using, because I'm always stealing people's resources and ideas. And anyway, so the one pager is really there for you to use to fill in notes and then to save those notes for yourself to go back in and take a look. And I apologize, I'm going to be looking at a couple of screens here. I'm looking at the camera that's recording me now, and then I'm recording, and then I'm looking at the screen that's that I'm using. So if you see me kind of look this way, you know, just know that I'm paying attention to you, I promise. But I've got my screen here too. And that's something to talk about when we talk about Zoom calls. Is, to be honest with you, when I first started, I didn't have a camera set up. I didn't have, an external camera. I just used the camera that was on my computer. And that's okay. I just want you to know, like, you're probably seeing my image, and it's a much more high def image than, say, my MacBook Pro does. But when I first started, just know, I would say step one is you can totally just use your MacBook Pro or your PC. The web camera that is provided there is totally fine. But as you move forward and as you kind of progress and you're doing more and more video sales calls, I would invest in a little bit more equipment. And I'm going to put a bunch of resources into the one pager down below, just like I did with the Wedding Sales Machine, where you can kind of go see some of the things that I've done, some of the things that other people have done. I'll make some suggestions on some equipment. Totally your call. But I know I did a lot of like research on this stuff, and it took me a lot of time, and I could just save you some time. So I'll put you some resources there, so you'll see all that, and that way you can kind of go pick and choose what it is that you want. But for me, again, don't have to have this, but for me, I did invest in an outside software that integrates into Zoom, that allows me to do a lot more things when I'm live streaming with people, when I'm talking to them via video. It's called Ecamm Live, and I'm able to overlay some screens and things like that. And we're actually putting together a bunch of resources for that as well, that we'll be sending out via email in the next couple of weeks. But so that way you can kind of keep up with some more of the technology that I'm doing. But don't get bogged down with that. Again, you can just use the computer that you already have, okay? But I will say this. Make sure, step number one, when you're setting up your video Zoom experience, because that's what it is, that you actually need to look and dress professionally, okay? When we first started doing Zoom calls, I had some of my team who would meet with clients with their hats still on and t-shirts. And I saw that and I was like, nope, no way. Maybe it's my banker coming out in me. Maybe it's my, every day when I went to work, I had to wear a tie and a suit and that sort of thing. And I just feel like, especially even when I'm going to events nowadays, all of our people, ladies and guys, are all business professional. So that meaning the guys are wearing ties. I have girls that wear ties and suits. And I mean, it just makes us look and feel like we have our act together, and it sort of commands respect. So I would say, number one, when you're on your Zoom call, meet in a professional dress. So, with me, I would wear a collared shirt like this. I would absolutely do that. Then if I have to meet with someone and it kind of conflicts, and maybe I know during COVID and stuff was going on all the time, and my kids would show up in the video and all that kind of stuff, that's totally fine. But at least explain to your client, listen, crazy deal. Normally I'm dressed a little nicer than what I've got going on. I'm here at the house. I do that some, and clients are okay with that. But I just have found, you guys, that professionalism is everything, and taking it to another level and being excellent on video is really important, because it's the first impression that you're going to give to your client. And you show up with a hat on, or, just nasty t-shirt and, that sort of thing. It's just going to downgrade the experience, in my opinion, because, people they want someone who looks and feels like they've got it together. And if you look and feel professional, then it'll translate into more sales. Your pricing goes up. Everything about the experience can continue to climb. So that would be number one. Act professionally, dress professionally on the Zoom call. It's okay to expect that out of yourself. The second thing is set a really great mood. And by that, you can see behind me, I've got just some nice background stuff. You can see just, my guitar gear and, back here, and it looks nice. The lighting is decent. The camera angle is sort of like right here with me, as though I would be looking. There's a lot of research done that people tend to engage more with a person that they can actually see this upper part of your torso. And so I do these videos like this in person, on purpose, so that you can see that I'm setting this sort of mood, right, of engagement. And so everything around me, I want you to sort of look and see and feel like this is Russ. Now, right now at this recording, I'm doing this from my home office. I do have a business office, and behind me is our logo and our, I've got a bunch of workstations behind me and crates and controllers and things like that. And I put up lights on, but I just wanted to jump on here and show you that you didn't have to do that, but it is something that is, a lot of people do. And I find that my clients really like it, that they see I can pull over an uplight and be like, this is my uplight. This is what they do. These are my Ape Lab sticks. These are my Astera lights. This is what my workstations look like. This is, and so I do love broadcasting from my office, my real office for Ozark Mix. But, as of today, we just got this bookshelf and everything's kind of behind me. But what I will say is just make sure that you don't have a bunch of shadows, that you're not like the creepy person behind this sort of orb of lighting. And you know what I mean by that. You're a professional DJ. So, but the lighting is kind of everything. And really right now, you guys, this lighting is amazing. And all it is my window. I've got the windows open. It's kind of sunny outside, and it's just natural light coming right at me. So just make sure that your light is not behind you. And that way you don't cast a shadow on yourself. So those of you who are used to doing video, this will make a ton of sense for you. But I just like to just be set up the mood, and, don't make it so close to your face, don't conduct the Zoom interview like this. Do this, be just your torso up. This is the posture that you want to go for. And so you've set yourself up like that. All right. So let's jump into my actual tips that are going to make you some money. But hey, make no mistake about it. Those first two will actually make you some money, because if those two aren't done well, then the next impressions that you're trying to make, you won't gain as much trust. I can promise you. I can just promise you. So I'm gonna look at my screen over here so that I can catch my notes and then talk to you here. All right. So I think, step number 3 when it comes to doing sales calls on Zoom and video sales calls in general is that you have set an expectation with your client already that this sales call is only going to be 15 minutes. And the clients love that because they're like, man, I can do this during my lunch hour. I can do this, off the cuff. I can obviously do this from my phone, which 9 times out of 10, that's where someone's going to do this from. They're going to do it on their phone because Zoom is awesome and it does it that way. But the thing is you want to set expectations quickly. And the way that you do that is you jump right in. The small talk is like minimal. All right. Because why? Well, 2 reasons. One is you've already sent them a video, like they've seen you, because if you followed the steps in the wedding sales machine, you sent them a thank you video. You said, hey, we're so glad that you are joining us. I would love for you to set up a call. You explained a couple of things. And so they know your face. So they have recognized you already. You can reintroduce yourself, but at the same time, just recognize that needs to be really minimal and you've got to jump right into what it is that they are on the call for. Okay. So that's number 3 is jump right in. And the way that I do that is this. I'm like, hey guys, what's going on? Like if it was a couple, I would say, hey guys, what's going on? I'm Russ. It's so nice to meet you. They would tell me their name. And, let's say it's Josh and Sarah. I'd say, hey, Josh, hey, Sarah, I'm so glad that you're here. Is it my understanding that you guys are ready to get married or what? And it just kind of lightens the mood a little bit. So you want to just try to figure out what it is that you want to say, just the small little things. So for me, it's all, oh, you guys want to get married. Is that right? Boom. And you do it energetically. And they're like, yeah, we were ready to get married. We're so glad. And I'm like, hey, listen, congratulations. And then by then I usually know that what their venue address is. So if I know the address, so for instance, for here, there's a venue called the Osage. And so I would say, hey, Josh, hey, Sarah, it's so nice to meet you. I'm Russ. Is it right that you want to get married? Congratulations. Hey, listen, I love Osage. It is so beautiful. And then I would go on to explain just a little bit about what we've done at Osage. I love the windows. I love the chapel. I love how big it is. I love the way that, the outside looks or whatever. And you just kind of try to make a connection right then. So you're jumping right into it and you're making a connection with the client right away. Okay. And then the next thing that you do is you just say, hey, listen, I want to help you as much as possible. I want to give you the information that you're here for, and that is pricing and what things sort of look like in the flow of the day. Could you tell me really quickly, and that's key, really quickly, what your vision is just for the day when it comes to a timeline? Do you need ceremony? Are you doing a cocktail hour? Do you need reception? Walk me through just what you would love to see and just let them answer. Okay. So again, number 3, jump right in, introduce yourself, give them a compliment, then go right into it, you guys. Small talk is not, it just doesn't work right here because they know that they're on a sales call and so do you. Okay. So small talk, just kill the small talk, like jump right in. In fact, one of my people that I learned a ton about marketing from is a guy by the name of Russell Brunson. And I buy like all of his books. And I buy a lot of his products. And he is just a master at when you get on a call with Russell, it's right away. Like you just jump right in. Hey, let's talk about what you're here for. And so that's what you want to do. You want to hear from them, what it is that they need from you. And then you go into this next piece. So your first little section, like 2 to 3 minutes, is you breaking the ice, telling them who you are, telling them a little bit about what you know about the venue they're getting married at, hearing what they want from the day. And then the second thing is that you're going to jump into, and this would be, I'm going to put, again, this is on the one pager, is you jump right into your packages. Okay. So what you then move into is they have explained to you, let's say they have explained to you that they want ceremony, they need cocktail hour, and they need reception. Well, for us, that's a package called the Ozark. Okay. So the Ozark covers ceremony, cocktail, reception. Now, there are a couple of things that we add in there that's kind of a wow moment for the client, because guess what? They don't know what uplighting is. They don't know what dance floor lighting. They don't know, right? So it's our job to deliver the package to them and explain to them what that package is. Okay. So that's what I do next. Is the next phase of the Zoom call is me jumping into what our packages are and what they offer. Okay. And if you haven't created packages, I would highly recommend that you go back into your wedding sales extras. Into the wedding sales machine and listen to the interview that I did with a wonderful lady by the name of Kelly Mortimer. She is a wedding consultant in the UK, and she talks about why we need value ladder packages. And so we made the decision several years ago to move to packages. We offer, small, medium, large, and y'all, it has changed everything, and our pricing has gone through the roof, and our revenue continues to just look like a hockey stick. Like it just goes straight up. But before, I was like doing like a la carte stuff and hourly things, and that just did not work. And so I highly recommend that you do packages. And so this next phase of the Zoom sales call is me explaining that. Okay. So they've jumped right in. I go right to our middle package, which is where everyone lands. It's our highest profit package. It can be totally customized, but it's the one that I lead with. And so I go in and I say, hey, listen, we've got this package. In fact, I'll explain it right here to you. I'll say, you know what, Josh and Sarah, I love what you're saying. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. Let me just kind of show you what's possible with us. And so then I go into, hey, listen, what you're describing is a package that we have called the Ozark. What it does is it includes ceremony audio and an engineer to run that. It includes the ability for you to put in all of your customized lists that you need, the music that you need, and we pull all that in for you. We do that with a battery-powered system. We mic up the officiant, and everything is heard by the audience. It's amazing. The next thing that we do is we offer that same piece of equipment. We move that to a cocktail location because we can pick it right up and move it right to a cocktail location. And if they're in really crazy different places, we'll just simply set up a second location for cocktail. And we'll play music there. We'll actually have a microphone to move people from one place to the next, if need be. And then the third is we rock the reception, right? Like here's what we offer within that reception. Then I go into everything that we offer. And for us, it's, hey, we're going to uplight the venue. Every 6 to 8 feet, you'll have an uplight. And then we'll give you dance floor lighting. All of that's included. We certainly MC the event. We all come with DJs. We're all turntables. I go into sort of explaining what that looks like. I explain how my process is that they give us their custom playlists, and we have a reception flow template. So I explain that process. I'm not going to break that down for you because that's your business. But for us, that's what I do is I simply just explain that process to them of what that night looks like and how we get there. Okay. And that's about, you guys, that's about 7 minutes. Okay. And then within that, I show them some pictures, which is why I do a Zoom call, is I can show them pictures via Zoom of all like setups in different places. In fact, I've got tons of pictures of different venues. And so for me, I specialize that and I automatically pick out the pictures that I know that they're getting married at. So the venue that they're getting married at, I go in, I pull those pictures up and I'm like, hey, this is what it would look like if Ozark Mix was at Osage for you this night. Here's where we've set up at Osage in the past. This is what it looks like. Boom, 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 boom. I show them that. I then explain to them all of this, you guys, costs X. We have a retainer of this, and I will send you a proposal of this within the next 10 minutes of this phone call. Okay. And then at that point, I then ask, we offer photo booth. So that would be the opportunity to just be like, hey, you know what? Something in the past that our clients have asked for, we've actually started offering, and that's a photo booth. I'm not sure if that's something that you're looking for. Here's what we do with our photo booths. We actually add that as a separate line item. So if you decide later on down the road that you don't need the photo booth, we can always change that in the proposal. But here's what that looks like. And so then I go into the kind of 1 minute, 2 minute elevator pitch for upsells, which is CO2 cannon and cold sparks, and you do you, right? That's you. But for me, now we're in at about 11 minutes, you guys. And then I just simply field questions. I go, hey, listen, I'm sure after we've talked about all this stuff that maybe you've got a few questions for me. I'd love to answer them for you right now. And then we just open the floor and let them answer. Okay. But here's what I've done, you guys. I have made a connection with them at the beginning. I have then went into a very brief, but succinct, and really good explanation of what we do. And I've taken them into the value ladder. Okay. I say, hey, listen, we offer a couple of different packages, but the one that you're describing is this one. I talk about it. I tell them what it is. I show them some pictures of what it'll do. And then I start fielding questions. And then so at the end, once I recognize that there's no more questions, which usually they have one or two, sometimes I've slammed it and hopefully they have no questions and we're all good. Then again, I go over and I say, okay, listen, you guys, remember, this is what the retainer is. You're going to get an email from me in the next 10 minutes with a proposal based on this conversation. So I'm going to send you a proposal over the Ozark package, and I'm going to look forward to hearing back from you. Again, it was an honor to meet you. We'd be honored to be a part of your special event for you and your family. We don't take it lightly. We really love what we do, and we would be so excited to be at your wedding. And then I go, man, it's been a great 15 minutes. Thank you so much. And I get off the phone call. And then after that, I send them a proposal right away. Like I don't even wait. I had a boss of mine once before, and I have subscribed to this ideology ever since. He said to me, Russ, touch it once. Touch it once. And so I try my very hardest to go right away, go into that software, build that proposal, and send it right to that client with a couple of pictures of those same setups that I sent them and that I showed them before, right? That's what I do. And then it's on to follow-up stage. But listen, I think the Zoom call is one of the most crucial pieces in the sales machine, okay? And I think you can make a connection with people within 2 or 3 minutes because you've already had some high-touch opportunities. But it all depends on what you do at the beginning of your sales funnel that makes this sales call go super smoothly. You can impress people in 15 minutes. I know you can. You are a professional. You're a CEO. You take this seriously, and I cannot wait to see how this works out for you. So, you guys, as always, I'm available for coaching. You can jump into the members area and click on some coaching. If you need coaching in a certain area, I'd love to help. But yeah, so jump in there, get on the schedule if you need to. And other than that, go kill some sales calls, build some great quality backgrounds. You do your thing and let's go. Can't wait to see how, the wedding sales machine is working for you. Y'all have a good one.